Islam is not against science. In fact, Islam is not against knowledge. एक general perception होती है कि Islam doesn't ask us to study contemporary knowledge. So if someone is a Hafiz of Quran, like our brother Ahmad Khan, he is mashallah LLM. So he has done masters in law. So if he's a religious person, he has to be someone who haven't done masters, or he has to be someone who is not a PhD doctor. That is not true. The general skepticism है if a person gets religious, he turns away from knowledge. वो कहते हैं कि नहीं अब मैंने तो post graduation नहीं करनी. That is not true. So before we begin this all, we are asked, in fact Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the messenger of Allah to make a dua. And the dua is Rabbi zidni ilma. अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला ने रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को खुद सिखाया है कि आप दुआ करें, और अल्टीमेटली हम सारों को सिखाया that you need to seek knowledge. And the first commandment was not about anything else but knowledge. It was about greed. And in particularly about science. Science is something that helps us, जो हमें मदद करती है कि हम अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला के साइंस, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला के बारे में हमें और ज़्यादा पता चल सके, हम कुरान को और अच्छी तरह डिस्कवर कर सके. विदाउट द नॉलेज ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स यू कैन नॉट डिवाइड इनहेरिटेंस. अगर आपके पास मैथमेटिक्स से ही नॉलेज नहीं है, हाउ कैन यू डिसाइड कि इनहेरिटेंस लॉ क्या है? यू कैन डिसाइड इट. Without the knowledge of science, without the knowledge of literature, without the knowledge of poetry, you cannot analyze Quran. So you need to have knowledge of history, you need to have knowledge of language and poetry, you need to have knowledge of science. अगर ये सारे नॉलेज होंगे तभी तो एक अच्छा मुसलमान कुरान को एनालाइज कर सकेगा, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला के जो मिरेकल्स हैं उनको पहचान सकेगा. So the first scientist in the history of mankind, who was he? Do you have any idea? Was he Albert Einstein? Was he Isaac Newton? Who was he? He was not a Jew or a Christian or an atheist, but rather he was a Muslim. And the name of that Muslim scientist was Ibn Haytham. Now, I'm taking this quotation from a very solid book. The solid book is Science in West, or the Western Science. It's by Dr. Lindbergh. And he says that the first scientist was, according to the definition of science, was Ibn Haytham. Okay? And before that, there were Greek philosophers. But science is based on observation. Science observation पे base करती है something that is tangible. It's not based on philosophy. It's not based on intangible things. तो जो पहले वाले scientists, जो philosophers थे, you cannot tell them that they were scientists. But if you go how stuff works, you go to Google tonight, you write on Google how stuff works, and you write who was the first scientist, you'll get a lot of articles about this person, Ibn Haytham. And he was the person who did the first scientific observations of optics. The lenses that we wear. He was the person who was the first person to make a pinhole camera. Now, who was this person? This person, Ibn Haytham? He was this person. And according to the Stephens, he quotes Ibn Haytham and he says that I decided to discover what it brings us closer to God. Ibn Haytham का जो true motivator था scientist बनने का, वो ये था that he decided to explore what brings us closer to God. हमें क्या चीज़ अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला के करीब करती है, what pleases him most, और क्या चीज़ अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला को please करती है, and what makes us submissive to his will. और क्या ऐसी चीज़ है जो अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला के will के, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला की जो will है हमें उसको submissive करती है. So he was not a Jew, he was not a Christian, he was not an atheist. The first scientist was Ibn Haytham himself.